right now on 5 on your side at 10.
I'm tracking the next threat for storms, prompting a weather impact alert for tomorrow. Also, we added late day showers and storms Sunday evening, which could be severe. Details coming up.
Pushing for pride. Organizers fight to put on their Pride Fest celebrations after losing sponsors.
We will not go backwards.
Relentless rain. People impacted by the tornado deal with a series of new storms. How groups are making sure the relief isn't rained out.
I thank God that He placed these people in our lives.
Right now, most of us are getting a much-needed break from a series of rain showers. It may be dry now, but we are still getting you prepared for an incoming weather impact alert. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson. Another round of showers is expected tomorrow, yet we are also looking ahead at possible stronger storms for Sunday. Meteorologist Jim Castillo here with what you need to know ahead of tomorrow, Jim.
Yes, hi Kelly. So you saw that shot there. We have some fog issues likely later tonight too with all that rain we've had. Some areas heavy, even Salem, Illinois, having some drainage issues right now and some side roads flooded. But tomorrow afternoon and early evening, we're watching for the possibility of some storms. It could be strong or severe if all the conditions come together. Also later in the day Sunday, more likely Sunday evening, same kind of deal as a cold front comes through. All hazards are possible. Just have several ways to receive warnings. Tonight, that threat of severe weather is down to our south, southern Missouri, all the way into Oklahoma. A better chance of severe weather. So St. Louis, we had about 1/4 inch of rain today or the last 24 hours. Chesterfield about 1600ths, and Belleville probably just a little less than 1/10 inch, but St. Charles over 1/2 inch of rain. And right now, a few showers are kind of trickling down all the way through St. Charles County and into West St. Louis County. Likely light showers there, and any of that heavy rain in Salem, Illinois is coming to an end, but still some showers through Jefferson County and Clay County in Illinois. So how much rain fell? Well, to the south, 2 to 3 inches of rain. Farmington through Rolla and into Carbondale, Illinois, and then right around really Jefferson County, Illinois. Looks like Mount Vernon about 2.7 inches of rain there. So some very heavy rain for some. Others a little bit closer to the metro, lighter amounts, about 0.01 in Greenville and Bond County. I'll time out those storm chances coming up in just a few minutes.
And we will keep you up to date on tomorrow's weather impact alert, both on air and on our 5+ streaming app. It's free to download and watch on your Roku, Apple, or Fire TV. And you can also text the word weather to 314-425-5355, and we'll send the forecast straight to your phone. For the past 3 weeks, we have introduced you to countless Good Samaritans helping tornado survivors in so many ways. With the constant rain we have gotten, those efforts are needed now more than ever. New tonight, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend caught up with people on a heartfelt mobile mission.
Rain or shine, St. Louis business owner Joe Westbrook and his 14-member team from Pure Catering Company.
We have power, we have gas.
Are on the front line 7 days a week helping tornado survivors.
I actually got with my team, and we took the truck out the very next day, maneuvering through debris, maneuvering through power lines. The first block I hit was my mom block.
They're riding around storm-battered North St. Louis in this big gray food truck and this white van.
Jersey making the boxes up for me.
Taking hot meals to people.
This is what community is about.
Whose lives were suddenly turned upside down when an EF3 tornado hit the community 3 weeks ago.
I love doing it, yeah. It's not going to take away the pain or anything like that, but just a hot meal and a cold drink will kind of just ease things for us a little bit.
Joe actually cooks the meals right here in the back of his truck, and then he radios his deliverers to pick the meals up.
How many meals do we need over there?
I am very grateful.
Lynette Blackwell is just one of the thousands glad to receive one of the free meals. Her home sustained serious damage during the storm.
I thank God that He placed these people in our lives.
Afeni Johnson doesn't mind getting soaked in the rain while serving others.
I could not even imagine in my wildest dreams what they're going through. I would do this as long as I'm able.
Dedicated servants helping those in need.
I appreciate y'all.
An inspiring mobile mission not stopping anytime soon.
We're going to be out as long as the need is here.
Robert Townsend.
Thank you.
5 on your side.
Just hours ago, the Urban League of St. Louis told us it is extending hotel stays for people who lost their homes in the May 16th tornado. The organization is allowing impacted families to stay in hotels at no cost for another 16 days. So this brings the total stay to 1 month. The Urban League says they have placed 150 people in hotels. Today, the St. Louis City Board of Aldermen introduced a bill to put millions into the Tornado Relief and Recovery Fund. The bill would use $30 million of interest earned from the RAM settlement. The money would be dedicated to relocation assistance for renters and homeowners, as well as home repairs, food assistance, and other aid projects. Mayor Kara Spencer says residents need this help as soon as possible.
We're not going to wait until the bill's finalized to start building out the programs to start these expenditures to get folks get their immediate housing needs addressed.
The bill is now handed over to the Housing Committee, who will meet Tuesday. The board hopes to have this passed by the end of the month. Today, one of the area's largest volunteer supply drives wrapped up its final day. Action St. Louis has been in the O'Fallon Park Rec Center every day since the day after the tornado. Dozens of impacted people came out to get essential items like food, tarps, and tents. Organizers say they have helped more than 5,000 families and have worked with 9,000 volunteers. Tonight, 3 St. Louis restaurants damaged by the May 16th tornado are back open. Contractors and volunteers helped clean up the damage at Florenton, Nixta, and Esca. Florenton opened this morning, with the other 2 opening for dinner tonight. The owner of all 3 restaurants says the buildings have undergone careful inspections for safety.
Very, very fortunate that we didn't have any serious structural damage to this building. Not 100% there, but happy to be open. I'm really humbled by the support of the community.
The owner says he hopes to help other impacted restaurants rebuild in the Del Mar Maker District. Developing tonight, Pagedale police tell us they are giving up patrol duties of Velda City. The Pagedale and Velda City boards of aldermen voted to terminate the contract with the police department. Velda City's department dissolved in 2024, and right now their former police chief is facing charges for stealing thousands from the city. The North County Police Cooperative will take over patrol duties. New tonight, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office released video of the successful search for a missing 2-year-old. Officers say the child wandered into a heavily wooded area. Police spotted his footprints, and the department's K-9, Nikki, picked up his scent. They eventually found the little boy after hearing him crying. The child wasn't hurt and was reunited with his family. The whole search took only 40 minutes. Developing tonight, we are learning a man hit and killed by a car was trying to save a family member from a car fire. Police were helping firefighters on St. Clair Avenue in Fairview Heights put out a fire when they heard a crash nearby. They later found a man lying in the road. He died at the hospital. The driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating. Right now, police are investigating a deadly crash that started as a traffic stop in the Metro East. It happened yesterday afternoon in Granite City. Police say officers spotted Michael Ritchie and tried to pull him over because of an active arrest warrant. He drove off on his motorcycle and crashed into a car about a mile down Maryville Road. He died at the scene. Residents in Belleville are fighting a planned solar farm near a local cemetery. Last year, the city sold 25 acres near Mount Hope Cemetery to a solar power company to build the farm. The citizens have started a petition to stop the project, saying it could impact the roads leading to the cemetery and areas of the cemetery where graves still could go.
6 months ago, it seemed like there was no way to stop this at all, but now that we have a new mayor and also that our zoning director, who this was the brainchild of, has resigned and is moving to a new job in Florida, we feel like we have a chance and some momentum to get something done about this.
The company says they agreed to fix any road damage. The petition currently has more than 450 signatures. Well, this Pride Month, St. Louis City's Pride Fest will look a little different after losing some big corporate sponsors. Anheuser-Busch ended its 30-year sponsorship of the event in March, and festivals around the country are starting to go through the same problem. CNN's Lee Waldman has the latest on the growing issue.
Pride is more than just a weekend. Pride is more than just a month. Pride is all year round.
For 45 years, St. Louis has celebrated Pride with a free festival. This year, that's changing. Pride Fest goers will have to pay a $10 entry fee because the organization has lost more than $150,000 in corporate sponsorships, including St. Louis headquartered Anheuser-Busch, which pulled its support after a 30-year partnership.
It was simply a quote on a phone call that was, we no longer see the value in the relationship, end quote. And that was all we got.
We've reached out to Anheuser-Busch for comment, but haven't heard back. It's not the only brand scaling back. According to a survey of more than 200 corporate executives by Gravity Research, 39% plan to do the same this year. New York City Pride is feeling the impact as well.
We are about 25% down from our fundraising goal, which equals about $750,000.
The subdued corporate support marks a shift in recent years. Businesses are scrapping some of their programs to advance diversity in the workplace under pressure from the Trump administration. With this shift, some Pride events are reincorporating Pride's original purpose: protest.
To us, protest can mean so many things. Protest is protest. Being queer joy is protest. Being visible is protest.
We will not go backwards. We will not tolerate these actions from this administration and from this state.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Her power was out and her health was on the line.
My box is down. I can't afford an electrician.
One man steps up to restore her power and her faith in the community.
And when I got the call, I said, no problem. Where is it at?
A relief of joy. Then immediately
see the remarkable rescue next.
I'm tracking the latest timing on more storms. A weather impact alert for Saturday afternoon and evening, also part of Sunday.
Sometimes the most powerful stories are born in a simple act of one neighbor helping another. After our story about medically vulnerable tornado victims struggling without electricity, viewers took action. 5 on your side's Mark Maxwell shows us how even in our darkest moments, we're connected through a grid of goodwill.
Unimaginable power hums through these lines, 24,000 volts alive in the air. Enough to light up a neighborhood, enough to take a life. And on rare, remarkable days, enough to save one.
I have a pacemaker that needs to be monitored.
You first met Donna Scott last Friday through her mother's plea echoing off the marble walls at City Hall.
We call Amber, we call everybody.
All she asked, help bring her daughter's power back. A handyman's fee might seem modest, but in Donna's world, that money was already spoken for.
July the 3rd, I'll be going in for my second open heart surgery. So the money that I do have saved, I have a car note, I still have kids, and I still have bills that I need to pay.
Moments after our story aired, the silence broke. A flood of calls, emails, donors, volunteers, and electricians. It's as if hope itself flipped a switch.
When they told me where it was at, I happened to familiar with the area.
Others knew the neighborhood well enough to say no. Their tools, valuable. The job, in their estimation, was not.
And when I got the call, I said, no problem. Where is it at? I mean, I don't care if it was a battle zone. People, still human beings.
As fate would have it, Kevin Thomas's family once called this block home. His boyhood summers baked into the pavement here.
These 4 properties here once belonged to part of my family.
The story aired Friday night. By dawn Saturday, Kevin was here, back on familiar ground, surveying the damage.
The meter socket was bad.
Hours later, he returned again with tools in his hand and generosity in his heart.
How much would you normally charge someone for a job like that?
To put electrical service in and run between $1,800 and $2,500.
And here?
Nothing. She needed help. What good is to help those who have? When people need it, you just got to help them.
That sense of duty to help his neighbors in need brought Donna down into her dark basement one last time. In an instant,
electric.
Her outlook on life transformed.
A relief of joy.
What does it mean to have people just looking out for neighbors?
A lot. That shows community, and I love it. It's just, at this trying time now. We need to stick together. We don't need to be separated. And that's a loving feeling that someone is looking out for the next person.
2 weeks in the dark, and then...
Ta-da!
Lights are back on.
This magical moment, born when Goodwill plugged grounded wire back into the grid, and a negative current met the most powerful positive charge of all, kindness.
He called in immediately and saved me.
It's okay. It's
he
okay.
saved me. Thank
It's
you,
okay.
Kevin Thomas. Thank
You're
you for saving me and my children and my grandchildren.
You're welcome.
And Daisy.
And Daisy. Don't forget Daisy.
The whole family back together under one roof. The unlikely reunion sparking the power to transform a street of strangers into neighbors who refuse to let darkness win. In St. Louis, Mark Maxwell.
5 is really on my side. Thank you.
We have really learned in the past 3 weeks since this tornado first hit St. Louis how many good people there are
Great
out
story,
there.
my goodness.
Yes.
Love it.
Jim Castillo is back with a look at our weather impact alert. And we are pretty safe tonight. There's like a problem spot out there though, right?
Yeah, Salem, Illinois, some flooding on the side roads there. So again, we did have some areas of heavy rain. We did not see the severe weather. We love when that happens. And tomorrow it's conditional, same with Sunday. So it's not a guarantee, and we hope that we have that same issue. But we do have a couple of windows we're watching as we get into Saturday afternoon and early evening, and then we get into Sunday. Likely it's just the evening hours. But the unfortunate thing is all hazards are possible. More likely wind with any of storms that pop up, but hail is possible and also tornadoes. So have several ways to receive warnings, and they'll be brief and quick tornadoes. But a tornado, as we know from the other day, is a tornado that moved through West St. Louis County. So tonight we are good. Severe weather maybe in southern Missouri. And right now, a few lingering showers, Sparta, Illinois, Carlisle, Salem, and also into Flora and Mount Vernon. That's where we've had some heavy rain. And now we have this with the wet ground. This is the airport, a live look. Areas of fog tonight. So far, not a dense fog advisory. Wouldn't doubt if that changes a little bit overnight. So areas of fog and low 60s for lows as the wind remains very light to calm. And the satellite radar shot, again, with the clearing, we're going to see some fog forming. It'll get thicker, too, if it clears in most areas a lot. Here are tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches. Kansas and also into Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. Here's New Mexico and there is Colorado. So these storms we'll watch as, again, another disturbance moves our way. So severe weather threat Saturday afternoon, early evening, a level 2 out of 5. The other day when we had the tornado, we were just in green, a level 1. So something we really have to keep our eyes on. Level 2, this is Sunday, and mainly late in the day into the evening hours. The entire metro and then also most of the area on the Missouri side. Almost all of Illinois too, but level 1 far east. So again, just watching those time frames, all hazards possible. As we get into the future cast real quickly, here's what it may look like late in the day tomorrow. So when you see spotty areas of showers and storms, we'll probably have some scattered severe weather. Not everybody will see it. We'll get a break. And then here's Sunday at 5:30 p.m. We'll put that into motion. You can see those storms could be strong just about anywhere. So something we really have to watch. So weather impact alerts for the Saturday afternoon and early evening, and same for late in the day on Sunday. And high temperatures, a little warmer Sunday, so we have some energy to work with the sun and that warmer weather, 84. But the great news is, Kelly, Monday through Thursday, it looks dry, which is great.
Thank goodness, yeah.
Yes.
We'll need that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Here's Corey with sports.
The Cardinals had to wait a bit to face Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. One local baseball star is now a history maker. And I sit down with the new head coach for City SC. Sports is up after the break. If you want to see how good you really are, play the best. The defending champion Dodgers have a World Series trophy and 4 MVPs on the roster to prove they're the best. The Cardinals get a chance this weekend to prove they can beat the best. It was damp for a while, about an hour and 15-minute rain delay tonight, but once the rain cleared, Cardinals fans got on their feet to welcome Tommy Edman back to town. Got the patented former Cardinal Busch Stadium ovation, and the fans got back on their feet in the bottom of the second. Pedro Page's 2-run bomb, his 5th of the season, Cards on top. Sonny Gray was on the hill tonight. He got in some trouble, but kept working his way out of it. Nasty K of Teoscar Hernandez right there. Cards added on the 5th. Brendan Donovan has 2 runners on. He knows what to do with them. Donnie deposits a hit in the center to score 1, and then Lars Nootbaar slides in safe to extend the lead to 4-0. Right now, the Cardinals still lead by that score in the 7th inning. Love this story. LSU's Shreveport baseball went 59-0 to win the NAIA title this year. Nobody has ever gone undefeated in college baseball. Helping them make history was O'Fallon, Illinois native Josh Gibson. Yes, he is named after the legendary baseball figure. Gibson hit .439 with 71 RBIs this year. I asked him about his incredible season for an incredible team.
You know, it's just a lot of hard work. I'm not really a stat guy. I don't really follow the stats or anything like that. I just love to go out there and play, have fun, you know, give it all I got. But I would say a lot of hard work. And I was surrounded by the right people, a lot of good ball players, a lot of good coaches. And, you know, they taught me a lot throughout the way. And I was open ears, open to listen to everyone and take little notes from here and little notes from there and put it all together.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
The skid is over for City SC. Saturday's win over San Jose got them back in the MLS win column for the first time since March. Now they'll try to make it 2 in a row in Portland. Sunday's game against the Timbers will officially mark the halfway point on City SC's calendar. Yes, they are second to last in the Western Conference standings, but that's still just 6 points out of a playoff spot. I sat down with interim head coach David Critchley this week for Sports Plus and asked him about the postseason plausibility.
Our objective now, why we can mathematically do it, is to believe we can do it and show up every week on the training field, every day on the training field, every week on the game field, show up with that mentality of we're here to try and compete for the playoff spot and we're here to try and get this club playing in the postseason.
Stanley Cup Finals Game 2, Panthers trying to even things up, 2-2 in the first. That is until Connor McDavid finds Leon Draisaitl for a pretty goal. Those two are quite the combo. Panthers tied things up in the second. Dmitry Kulikov from distance, 3-3. Until this, shorthanded, Brad Marchand score. A shorty to make it 4-3 Florida. 18 seconds left now. Florida about to tie the series, but here comes Corey Perry. Tie game, we go to overtime, tied at 4, and we are still in overtime, not at 4 goals apiece. Girls high school soccer state final 4. Corey Yezu in the Class 4 semifinals. Their star had a day. Gatorade National Player of the Year, Maddie DiMaria scored 4 goals against Nixa to lead the Chargers to a 7-0 win to advance to the title game. Clayton had a bit more drama in their Class 2 semifinal against Pleasant Hill. A scoreless game went to a shootout, and the Greyhounds prevailed. They win the PK shootout 3-1 to advance to the Class 2 title game tomorrow. Still some work to do over at Busch Stadium, but up 4-0 on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start to the series.
And also City SC. Now, this new coach coming in, you know, he has a lot of catching up to do.
He does.
Will he be the one you think that can turn things around?
If Game 1 is any indication, they're on the right track. And we talked about a lot of fun stuff coming up on Sports Plus for Sunday.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, Corey. A Missouri Space Museum gets a stellar honor. See one of the top spots for an out-of-this-world experience. The Space Museum and Grissom Center in Bonne Terre was recently named one of the top 10 science museums in the state. The center has a number of unique artifacts, including one of only 2 moon rocks in Missouri, and the cart that once took John F. Kennedy around McDonnell Douglas. The museum is open Friday through Sunday. And tomorrow, dozens of people will fill Tower Grove Park for the annual Susan T. Komen More Than Pink Walk. The event raises money for breast cancer research and Komen's Patient Care Center. And 5 on Your Sides, Mercedes McKay will MC the walk. It all kicks off at 9:30. Hopefully, it'll be dry.
Yes, it will be.
For the
Now,
walk.
areas of fog, though, and clouds, but it looks dry in the morning. And then showers and storms possible tomorrow afternoon. Some could be strong or severe, 76. We get warmer Sunday, so there's even a higher risk of seeing that chance of a storm in the evening. Could be strong or severe. So weather impact alerts for both days, and then we're dry next week. Let's hope it stays that way. We need to dry out.
Yeah, no more alerts.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. We're always streaming on 5 Plus. Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 6.